How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having an awesome day. Today's subject matter is very interesting. All right. The number one thing that I miss, and I can say this with sincerity, and I'm going to do it regardless, in the next couple of months, I miss about life before the pandemic of 2020. One very important thing: traveling, and more traveling. All right. Especially, I would like to, actually start traveling internationally once this crazy pandemic is over with. Lord knows when that will be, but hey, we'll see what happens. But I digress. And I commend the people that are actually still traveling now. I commend the people that are going to foreign countries now, going through the tests and all that. I commend, because life cannot stop. Life being in the house all the time is not a life worth living at all. All right. Now, this article that I came across the other day titled Traveler's Story. I quit my job, cashed in my stock, and set out to see the world. And before I go into this story, remember that whether people want to believe this or not, the economy today and the economy tomorrow is not really for the 40 hours a week people anymore, unless they want to have about 5 to 10 other income workers living within them at the same time. And even then, people have to have a mindset and a plan outside of just working 40 hours a week and paying bills. That economy is over with, in my personal opinion, regardless of who's in office, regardless who's going to come into office. The economy is for the investors and the business owners. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Throw all the political nonsense out of the equation. If people aren't talking about making money moves in your circle, you're in the wrong circle, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, had to get on my soapbox about that. I'm gonna really hit that hard in 2021. The economy is for the investors and the business owners, not for the workers only. So if you have a job and you love your job, great. Learn to invest. If you have a business, great. Learn to invest. That's all I got to say on that one. All right, now getting into this story. Okay. Even in the situation, one's mindset at the end of the day needs to, and then even before I get into the story, one situation, no matter what the situation may be, you need to be in the mindset of home ownership, business ownership, investments, period. Now, to the story at hand. A Chicago native, Patrick Easley, is an ambitious young man who always wanted to see the world. I can understand that. Even though his dreams seemed light years away, Mr. Easley stated, and I quote, "I thought boys where I come from can't do that," Patrick told Travel Nore. "Then I came across the channel made by Al Gore that used to be on the cable called Current. It showed all these young people traveling, adventuring in these vignettes, and I thought that that these people aren't any better than me. I'm going to do that too when I get older." Once Patrick was older, he landed a job with everyone's favorite app company, Cash App. While the job itself didn't really offer the best pay, it did give employees some pretty nice stock options. Unknowingly, Patrick benefited from those stocks as well. And that is one thing that a lot of people do not realize about working for certain companies out here around the world, especially if you're working for like the big companies like a Cash App, a PayPal, a Google, a Facebook, and whatnot. There are certain benefits one can actually utilize the benefits to make them more money. And that's why even people that work in those spaces might not be stock gurus, but they learn how to play the stock game a little bit better. Especially a lot of people actually use a lot of the money that they get from the dividends of specific stocks that the company buys for them and either put that into other stocks or buy other assets like real estate. The list goes on and on. The mindset has shifted. And that's one thing people don't realize. You can talk bad all you want to about a lot of big corporations and whatnot, but for a lot of times the people that work for them not only get a handsome salary, but the benefits package actually helps them be able to have the option of turning their job into an option. So it's a beautiful thing. But like I said, that story isn't talked about enough, because the real education in today's world is economic education. And that's why I wanted to talk about Mr. Patrick Easley's story, because he has benefited from becoming economically sufficient from making money online, from trading stocks, and various other things of that nature. Because he's become more financially literate, he's not just living a basic lifestyle, which more and more people want to get away from. Okay, but like I said, I'm off my soapbox. I can go on and on about that all day, every day. All right, and that is so. At the end of the day, Mr. Easley stated, and I quote, "I never put two and two together that the stocks in my account were mine." So that they sat there for a while. He let his stocks sit for a minute. Once I realized whose they were, I decided to spend them on myself. So I quit. I quit my job to travel, and I started a business online, and I make money from the internet, and I make money from stocks, trading stocks. So he's basically built himself a passive income lifestyle. He stated, "I wish I could say I planned it, but I didn't. Now doing this while one is young, doesn't have responsibilities like, having a significant other, children, etc. He has actually traveled to more than 2 dozen countries around the world, and he comes back and forth from the United States on a regular basis." Mr. Easley stated that if I'm enjoying myself or making friends, I'm either enjoying myself making friends and I'll stay longer in a specific country, but some places I make a strict itinerary for, which I can definitely understand that. And, before I even go any further with his statement, the one interesting thing is that this is becoming a big new norm for a lot of younger people. They're starting to see the light, whether they get a college degree or not, or get a certification or not. More and more younger people that are like in between the ages of 17 and 25 and whatnot right now in 2021 are like, hey, I don't mind getting a standardized education on any level, but I want to figure out how I can make money outside of my job so that I can afford a lifestyle that not involves a lot of fancy stuff, but it involves a lot of fancy options. Options. And that's what more and more people are learning. And like I said, with the stay-at-home economy, more and more people have utilized their free time, especially with them being on, a lot of people being on unemployment. The smart ones have utilized their free time to learn a specific skill set to, if not to create a job, then to actually get more investments and whatnot. More people are investing in the stock market, investing in cryptocurrency, precious metals. More and more people are getting on digital real estate. More and more people are actually, or even doing the smart thing by studying to get certified in something, whether from an IT level, from a blue collar level, maybe getting their insurance license, things of that nature. More and more people are getting much more smarter because they're like, hey, and utilizing the time more and more, and not just binging on social media for the sake of binging on social media, but they're trying to be much more productive. And that's what we need, more people like that, because when you are more productive, you can live a lifestyle like this young man has done. More power to him. And he stated, like, I spent about 1.5 months in South Africa. I actually can't wait to go to South Africa one day because I was having a ball while I was in South Africa, He stated, I spent 1.5 weeks in Vietnam because I planned to do so. And the thing, when you make money online and passively, this is the kind of lifestyle one can obtain for themselves. Just imagine, waking up in various countries, willingly, and just being able to enjoy the fruits and the labors of your work that you've put out there, and to be able to just live a different lifestyle that you never thought you could imagine and whatnot. And it is possible, and that's why I had to talk about his story. It is possible with the right mindset, and people not just getting crazy, and people being responsible for themselves, because this is the kind of reward you can have, not just economically. Because like I said, when I talk about make money moves, this is a money move right here. When you're able to make money online, when you're able to make money from stocks or whatever else, and you're not strapped to just having to work a regular 9 to 5, and you're able to travel and see the world, that is a beautiful thing. And even a lot of those instances, a lot of times people figure out how to actually make money while they're in a foreign country, not just online, but maybe even getting a job out there, creating a business out there, because they're getting more and more contacts or whatnot. Networking is key to anyone's success, whether it's a job or a business. And when you start having more and more, the thing is, most people don't realize that most major corporations have big international alliances slash relationships and networks and whatnot. So they're talking to people in London, they're talking to people in Beijing, they might be talking to people in South Africa, they might be talking to people in Brazil. These things are going to have become the norm for rich people, I would say probably for the last 2 decades. But more and more working people are starting to get there right now. I think this is going to be the decade from 2020 to 2030 of more and more younger people, the ones that are coming out of high school and coming out of college, that are going to be forming more international alliances with people because of the internet, and just because of them wanting to travel more, just like this young man. But that's just my prediction. I could be wrong. I'll leave it at that. That's just one guy's analysis on where the economy is and where the trajectory of the economy is going. I wrote a blog about, it's going to be the new norm of Americans retiring, or, if they're going to be remote working, then it's going to be the new norm for a lot of Americans and Europeans living in a third world country where the cost of living is 10 times cheaper, and being able to remote work out of South Africa, out of Singapore, out of Ghana, out of Mexico, out of, Panama, out of Jamaica, out of the Dominican Republic, the list goes on and on. Out of Vietnam, the list goes on and on, but I digress. Anyways, back to the story at hand. The main countries that Mr. Easley has actually visited was South Africa and Vietnam, and he's looking forward to traveling to Europe and East Africa. Eventually, another great thing about traveling to Africa and Asia, depending on the country, the cost of living is much lower compared to the United States and Europe. And given the fact that Mr. Easley has made a multitude of friends, which in today's world is, very, like I mentioned earlier, very, very important and necessary, and opens up so many more doors for one's economic stability all at the same time. Because the world is more international than most Americans can understand nowadays, even more than I do, okay, because I haven't traveled out of the U.S. since I was like a baby. So, but yeah, it's like the world is a very, very big international place. And the article stated that this journey around the world has taught him so much about himself and about African-American culture as a whole. He's seeing the beauty of being black and how much African-American culture has touched and influenced the world. I couldn't agree with that statement more. He also stated that I think that many times African Americans don't give ourselves enough credit for all we've created, improved, and mastered within this world while dealing with so much around the world. And he said, I've heard far too many folks say we don't have a culture. And while I never went that far, I didn't see how full our culture is or how much others appreciate it. We have our own language, religion, foods, myths, and backstories. All of these things are generally respected all over the world. One thing is for sure, the people who travel the world and learn how to run successful businesses, invest heavily, learn a multitude of different languages, or just learn a second language. Invest and then definitely the people who invest heavily more into assets, not liabilities, then the world and the world around them can change and become a much, much better place. And I think that because when you have more broad experiences, you have a better perspective on people's personalities and how they look at things, and you're able to accept other people's viewpoints and whatnot without having a heart attack and saying, no, you're wrong because it's totally against what I believe and all that. It just broadens your perspective. And I think I implore everyone, even myself, to start traveling, especially once this pandemic is over with, more and more, and just appreciate the richness of not only the American culture, but other cultures all at the same time. I think that's one beautiful thing that we can most people can agree on, and that's what the beautiful thing that the internet has actually opened up for all of us. So Mr. Easley, nothing but respect and love for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Please continue to learn how to not only appreciate cultures, but to be able to make money moves so that you can continue to live the life that you want to live, not only for yourself, but possibly for your future family and those around you, and let people see that it is possible when you have the right mindset, because clearly you do. Speaking of which, another great opportunity is coming available. Like I said, I'm going to get more into it in March. Gold Standard Partners, GS Partners, G999 is a new cryptocurrency. And it's all, for me, it's all about, without giving it financial advice, always do your homework. This beautiful program is giving the opportunities, just the one-on-one aspects of it is, they're having their own Visa crypto card. You're able to buy cryptocurrency and load your card with cryptocurrency and be able to pay bills and go shopping with your cryptocurrency. You refer others to do the same thing. It's affiliate marketing. So, hey, you get a commission every time you get someone to sign up with the program. And hey, it's all about making money moves, and it's all about being an investor and being a business owner within this new decade or whatnot. Okay. These are the people that are going to be the winners, and everyone else is just going to be on the sideline. So it's time for everyone to get in the game and let people know your name. All right. On that note, family, remember, you can't get fired if you own a company. It's 2021. It's time for people to own something and invest in something all at the same time. All right. So stay on your grind. Do the great 3 free things. Like, share, and subscribe. Make money moves or live broke like a fool. Take care, family.